Brinsky.
And I'm Lorraine Sink.
And we are here at the world premiere of Marvel's Captain America Civil War.
And we are, of course, live on the red and blue carpet here at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood, one of the most illustrious theaters in all of the town.
You may recognize it from the Academy Awards.
Yeah, not so bad. And this is going to be a huge, huge film tonight. We have so many stars coming through. I cannot wait.
And we're so excited to bring this all straight to you, and we're very thankful to our friends at Comic Cave Studios, part of the Al Ali Group, our sponsor for this live stream.
And of course, if you guys are watching at home on YouTube, you can also head over to marvel.com/Captain America Premiere, and you can see live vlogs and photos and all kinds of extra stuff, including this live stream.
Exactly, and if you want to join in on the conversation, we would love to hear from you. Use the hashtag Captain America Premiere, and of course, you can always find all things Captain America on Twitter at Captain America or Facebook. Captain America. We like to keep it easy.
There's so much amazing stuff going on behind us. As you can see, the set is decked out for the premiere. As soon as you walk in, the carpet literally asks you, which side are you on?
Red or blue, Team Cap or Team Iron Man? And we want to know, which side are you guys on?
Yeah, so tell us and hashtag Captain America Premiere, and we'll do our best to stick with you throughout the whole live stream.
Now, we know it's going to be a month until this film opens in theaters, May 6th in the US. You'll have to check your local times for around the world. But we are very happy to bring you a little sneak peek of all the insanity that's going to be happening on screen. In the trailers that they've released and the teasers, fight scenes are incredible.
Oh my gosh, it's like nothing that you've ever seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or elsewhere. I think you guys are going to be really, really excited about it.
All right, I think we should give them a look.
I think we should. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
See you in a bit.
This job, we try to save as many people as we can. Sometimes that doesn't mean everybody. But you don't give up.
New York. Washington, D.C. Sokovia.
Okay, that's enough.
Captain, people are afraid.
That's why I'm here. We need to be put in check. Whatever form that takes, I'm game.
I'm sorry, Tony. If I see a situation pointed south, I can't ignore it. Sometimes I wish I could.
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
I know we're not perfect. But the safest hands are still our own.
I was wrong about you. The whole world was wrong about you. They're coming for you.
I'm not the one that needs to watch their back.
This doesn't have to end in a fight, Tony.
You just started a war. Stay down. Final warning.
I could do this all day.
All right, I've run out of patience. On to roost!
Hey, everyone.
Hey everyone, I get chills every time I see that. One of the things that people are most anticipating about Captain America Civil War is the introduction of two incredible characters who are going to be making their debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm talking, of course, about, a guy named Peter Parker, Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, and T'Challa, Black Panther. This is played by Chadwick Boseman. This is the first time that these guys have made an appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for Spider-Man especially, this is really going to be the first time that that we see him play with an ensemble. So we are thrilled to welcome him, and we look forward to talking to him on the carpet. And to give you guys an idea of where we're at, like we said, we've got 3 city blocks covered. Lorraine is going to be down with the rivals, and I am going to be talking to not just the actors, but some of the extended family from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think I've come here, Scott. Hey!
How are you?
Welcome. I am here with Scott Derrickson, director of a little movie called Doctor Strange.
Yes, little movie called Doctor Strange.
So you guys are premiering in November. What's it like to be here on the Marvel red carpet, knowing you've got this film coming up in just a couple months?
Right now, all I'm thinking about is 2.5 hours of Civil War. I'm not kidding. I'm so excited to see this. I haven't seen any of the cuts of it, so I'm going to be experiencing it for the first time.
So as far as, give me a little, we're talking live to the Marvel fans, we're streaming actually, and give them a little bit of behind the scenes of what it's like being a director on one of these. You know, do you guys all confer with each other? Are you off in your own Doctor Strange bubble?
Yeah, no, we are. Actually, everybody talks to everybody. I got notes on the Doctor Strange script from James Gunn. I've spoken to him a couple of times, talked to him on the phone every once in a while, asking him questions. Joe Russo actually has a lot to do with me getting this job.
Really? How so? Explain.
Well, my best friend is Joel McHale, who worked on Communities, so Joel knew Joe, and they were good friends. And then I went to Joe and asked him about how he got his job. So Joe kind of got in my corner and gave me a little bit of the inside scoop on how Marvel works. And you know, we all support each other, and everybody's working together. You know.
So it kind of sounds like you're on Team Russo.
I'm on Team Cap tonight. I'm wearing blue. I love Captain America. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, the other things that I definitely want fans to know is that tonight on Jimmy Kimmel Live, they are going to get the very first peek at Doctor Strange.
Yep, that's right. First trailer. It's a teaser trailer. It's like 2 minutes long, so it's a real trailer. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Excellent. Well, between now and then, have an amazing time watching the film. Just sit back and relax and enjoy.
Thank you so much. All right.
Okay.
Enjoy the night.
All right, everyone. We are going to welcome now Ming-Na Wen, who is, come on over, who looks fabulous. As always, Melinda May.
So dressed up. You're so pretty.
Thank you. How come you're so dressed up?
Because we're at a premiere from Marvel.
Yeah, we like to get gussied up for these things.
Yeah, I know, right?
So you've kind of had a pretty traumatic year on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right, I know. I mean, you know, between Andrew turning into Lash and what's happened thus far and what's going on with Ward, yeah.
So speaking of that, you kind of have a personal connection, or Melinda May has a personal connection. Well, you have a lot of collections as far as toys go when it comes to superhero things.
Yes, I do, and actually, I was just going through the garage, and I have a Thor, of course, doll from Marvel, and I have Iron Man, and I didn't know whether to throw out the boxes or not. So can you help me out? Because I wanted to declutter, but I'm like, ooh, are they more valuable with the box? I think so. Most of them are.
Most of them probably are. Yeah. But my original question was, you have a pretty tight connection to powered people given Andrew's history. So how does that make you feel about the theme in this movie of oversight versus relying on people's better instincts?
Wow. I think it's really been a tough call for the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents to figure out whose powers are for the good and who's not. And I think for a lot of them, because it's such a new situation for them, they have no idea how to handle the power. And unfortunately, you know, some people with power ends up abusing it. So, like our political system these days, but we won't go there.
We won't go there. All right, I'm going to let you head inside. Thanks so much for stopping to talk to the Marvel fans.
Always.
All right, see you later. All right, we're now going to go talk. We're now going to throw to Lorraine, who is with Comic Cave Studios. Lorraine?
Hello, Marvelites. I'm here with Darren Gant, CEO of Comic Cave Studios, and the man behind these amazing statues. They're so incredible. Yeah. Can you tell the folks at home a little bit about what Comic Cave Studios does?
Well, Comic Cave Studios is a studio that we design and produce high-end collectibles, and we work very closely with a partnership with Marvel and Disney, and specifically with Marvel, to do high-end creative collectibles and to bring them to the next level. Marvel has entrusted us to be here at the red carpet to show this off, and today is a testimony of what we can show off.
I mean, they're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
But I have to ask, because it is the night of Captain America Civil War.
Sure.
Are you Team Cap or are you Team Iron Man?
I am in Team Captain America.
Yes. He is, you know, his name is in the title, so I think that is the perfect choice.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the movie.
You too. Thank you.
Stick around here for more on the red carpet.
All right, so far it seems like we're 2 for 2. I've got 2 team caps. So I'm not going to be able to keep track of everyone, but I'd love for you guys to keep track of where we're at as far as Team Cap and Team Iron Man. Keep joining in on the conversation. Use the hashtag Captain America Premiere. And of course on Twitter we are at Captain America. Same thing on Facebook. As you can see, we are talking to a lot of people from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's so much going on right now. We've got Doctor Strange, as we mentioned, coming out in November. In case you missed it when I was talking earlier with Scott Derrickson, tonight on Jimmy Kimmel Live, 11:35 p.m., 10:35 Central, on ABC, Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be on, and you will actually get that first glimpse of Doctor Strange. We'll also be talking to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as they come down the carpet, and our other directors. But right now, we're going to go back to Lorraine. What's happening down on your end of the carpet?
Well, I think you guys are probably going to be able to hear it, but I believe Paul Rudd is here. Everyone is screaming. They're clamoring for signatures. They all have their memorabilia, and of course, they all are representing whether they are Team Cap or Team Iron Man with great little fans, and everybody's just representing, they're screaming, they're excited, and everyone is just coming in. Right behind us here at Arrivals is where everyone's going to show up, and they're going to walk through the big entrance here that has a big star, and you'll burst out onto the red and blue carpet. It's absolutely electric over here and very, very exciting. And I can't wait to see that Jimmy Kimmel tonight with both Benedict Cumberbatch and Melinda May, aka Ming-Na Wen's castmate. Phil Coulson, aka Clark Gregg, is also going to be on the show talking about Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which just was renewed for a 4th season. We're super excited to see that. I can't wait. I love Inhumanity, and I love everything that they're doing. And of course, we got the introduction of Hive, which has been so thrilling to watch come to life from the Secret Warriors line. We're having a blast here, though. It's starting to quiet down. I think some people are driving up. And we're gonna go back to Tamara now. I think she's about to bring us something very special. Let's check it out.
Hey everyone, I'm so happy to be here with Henry Jackman, the composer for Captain America Civil War. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling really good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, of course. So I had the incredible experience of being on the scoring stage for an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Last season, and it was amazing. Tell me a little bit about your process.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I mean, it is an extraordinary thing, and I guess there aren't many projects that are big enough where you still get a huge symphony orchestra. And one of the things I loved about doing the music for this film, the directors, Joe and Anthony Russo and Kevin Feige, they were really, really keen to have a massive, impressive symphonic score. And, you know, the world being the way it is and a lot of different styles of music, it's not always the case. You get the time or the artistic inclination or the budget to do that. So
now, do you have particular themes for each character that you weave through?
Well, I mustn't give too much away, but yes. Although you do have to be slightly careful. This movie has a lot of characters in it. So as a composer, the challenge is you mustn't go too far. If you give absolutely everyone a theme, it actually gets slightly confusing. So Spider-Man definitely has an identity. So does Black Panther, obviously Captain America. So does Tony Stark, Iron Man. But the movie's actually kind of a Civil War thing. So there's really a Civil War theme just as much as there is like.
Are we going to hear Civil War era music?
Yeah. Because one of the ways to make the narrative work, because the story is really about this conflict between two groups, you've got to be careful not to have so many themes going on that you don't get the overall idea, which is there are two groups that come into conflict.
Now, was there a sense from the production team as to whether or not they were more Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
That's a really good question. No, you know, one of the things that I love about this movie is we're so used to, there's always an adversary and there's always a baddie. What's great about this movie is you are really torn. And, you know, especially if you're a fan and you understand the franchise and you know these characters, it's not an obvious and simple thing. It's not like in the first 10 minutes you know where you stand. And that's what makes it a really interesting movie, because it's a genuine disagreement amongst friends.
Yeah, and we've got such history here as far as the movies. The fans really have an understanding of who these characters are, so
Right.
it's kind of painful when you see them fight.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, apart from anything else, I mean, Iron Man is such a loved character, so it's very unusual to see him in direct conflict with Captain America, which is sort of epic struggle. And you end up at the end of the movie with this titanic sort of Shakespearean conflict that's more, it's not just like an action type conflict, it's actually more a personal and emotional one. The other great thing about so many people knowing all the characters in the franchise is you can really play with stuff. Like, people know that certain characters who perhaps I wasn't supposed to mention are going to show up in this movie, and so there's a little tease about how that happens both in the film, and you can do it with the music as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for giving us an inside look. The Marvel fans appreciate you stopping by. Have a fantastic time tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Lorraine, what's going on down there at Arrivals?
Well, you know, lots of stars are arriving. We just had Chloe Bennett arrive from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., who of course plays Skye, aka now Daisy Johnson, who has those awesome inhuman wave powers where she can shake the earth. But yeah, everyone is having a blast. The fans are screaming with excitement. How's everything going there at the middle of the podium?
Things are going great. You know, you mentioned Ant-Man a couple of minutes ago, and we are on standby for Peyton Reed.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How does it feel to be, so last time we were here, it was your movie.
It was, yeah, and it was, the fans are rabid, the fans are psyched, the fans know more about the movies than I think the people who make the movies, which is awesome.
I don't know, you know a lot because you're a big comic book fan, so.
I'm a pretty big comic nerd. It's nice to be here tonight and not have the weight of the movie on me. It's someone else's movie, it's the Russo's night. But I've seen the movie.
Yeah, and?
This will be the third time. I love it. It is amazing. They knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Did you feel a little bit possessive about lending Ant-Man to them?
I felt really possessive. When the Russos, when they were all writing the movie, they came to the cutting room and I showed them some stuff from the movie and showed them, you know, Paul playing Scott Lang as Ant-Man. And then when they went off and Paul went off with those guys, I felt jilted. But now I'm over it. I had some time and I really processed my feelings and got past it. But Ant-Man is, for me, obviously, but I think for everybody, a highlight of the movie.
Absolutely. No, I saw it. Tonight will be my second time seeing it, and what they do is really special. Is there anything you can tell us about Ant-Man and the Wasp? Anything?
I can tell you that we're hard at work writing the movie right now. So we've been holed up in a room, Paul Rudd, myself, Adam McKay, Gabe Ferrari, and Andrew Barr, who are our writers, so we're all brainstorming the story. And I think the only thing I can tell you with certainty at this point, because we're still about 2 years away from the movie coming out, is that it's going to have stuff in it that you've never, ever seen in a movie before.
That is very, very tantalizing.
Yes.
So we're talking live to the fans right now. Give me a little bit of insight into what it's actually like in the writer's room with you guys. I mean, are you just like cracking jokes? Are you all like on your own computers doing your own thing? How does it work?
The writer's room is smaller than you might think, and there's a lot of food.
Well, it's Ant-Man, so everything is small.
Yes, it's very small, yeah. We shrink ourselves down and we go inside a little matchbox and we work. It's fun. I mean, it's us throwing out a bunch of ideas and, you know, what we want to see in the movie and where we want those characters to go, and we have note cards up. It's chaotic and it's really fun. I mean, with Paul and Adam McKay in the room, you're going to have fun.
Absolutely. And I know Paul had said that there was, some improv on the set. Are you anticipating that again for Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Well, we definitely like to get the script exactly where it needs to be, but then really have fun, because Paul and obviously Michael Pena and everybody, they really excel and they want to keep it fresh, and I want to see what those guys come up with in the moment. So that's a fun part of it for me.
Well, we can't wait to see. I know you're going to have a great time tonight. Thank you so much for stopping to talk to the Marvel fans.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, take care.
See ya.
All right, so there's a little guy who's going to join us now. I'm talking about a new face in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right, everyone, Tom Holland. Tom Holland, please come over and say hello. We are thrilled that he is here. It's going to be our first look at Peter Parker. Hello!
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you.
It is so nice to meet you. Welcome.
How you doing?
I'm great. So we are actually streaming live to the Marvel fans right now.
Wow, pressure. Hey, everyone. This is amazing. This is so cool.
So speaking of pressure, what has it been like for you taking on this beloved role and bringing it to the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the first time?
At first, it was pretty terrifying, but as you all probably know, Marvel they're a powerhouse, you know, and they have the best in the business in every aspect of the film. And I was always in such good hands, and working with Robert very closely and Chris, I was always in good company, you know, and they helped me through every step of the way, and really gave me good guidance on what I needed to do justice to the character.
And speaking of Chris's, Chris Hemsworth was around during the process when you were finding out about becoming Spider-Man, about getting the role. Did you talk to him while that was going on? Because you guys did a film together.
Yeah, I sent him a text asking him if he could let Kevin Feige know that he'd work with me, and he replied saying, he was like, yeah, I'll tell him that you're really unprofessional, you never learn your lines, and you're always late to work. I was like, great.
It's so nice to know you can count on him. Yes.
Yeah, that's not true. I'm super professional. So.
Okay. Something else I wanted to ask you about, I heard that you actually found out that you got the role on Instagram?
Yes, I did. It was a crazy way to find out. I'd been playing golf with my dad and lost, which is bad. This is a bad
Do you
day.
usually lose?
Not really, no. He'll hate me for saying that. But no, so I came home, I was really upset, and I was looking on Instagram, and Marvel posted a photo of Spider-Man saying, go to our website to find out who our new Spider-Man is. I went to the website, and it said, we are delighted to announce that the new Spider-Man is, and I sort of like slammed my computer, and I was like, I need to take a minute, I'm so terrified of what this might say, and it said my name, and it was the greatest day I've had. It was the best day ever. It was amazing.
That's incredible. And you step into this ensemble of talent who, you know, award-winning, and they've been doing these films. What was it like that first day on set? And I know you can't give away what you're doing in the film, but what can you sort of just tell us out of context?
It was the most surreal experience of my life. I mean, I've been a huge fan of Marvel, even years and years before the idea of me being a part of these movies came about, and to see these guys in sort of like 3D in their suits and to meet them as like real people was one of the craziest experiences of my life, and I'm so lucky and so privileged to have had that experience, and I'm just so grateful, you know, that it's happened and it's finally here. I mean, this has been a secret that I've been keeping for so long, and now people can finally see it, so I'm delighted.
Well, they're going to have a blast when they see it. Have a fantastic time tonight. Thanks so much for talking to the Marvel fans.
Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. That is so exciting. You guys are going to love what he does in the film. And now we're going to go to Lorraine, who is talking with one of our sponsors. How you doing that down there?
Hey Marvelites, I'm here with Thomas Ovesen, CEO of 117 Live. You guys do all kinds of cool events. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
That's right, we do live events across South, Far East Asia, Americas, Middle East, building festivals, building venues, and putting on some great shows.
I love that. That sounds like a blast. Wouldn't you like to have a dance party right now? I'd like to have a little like pop music going on maybe.
That would have been fantastic, but we are thrilled to be here and to partner with Marvel and Disney on this occasion.
Well, we're thrilled to have you guys as our sponsor. Now I gotta ask, there's a certain movie coming out today. Are you Team Cap or are you Team Iron Man? Who are you gonna choose?
I have to go for the Iron Man side.
All right, Team Iron Man, another one for the tech gods. All right, you guys, we have so much more here on the red carpet. Let's go check it out.
Hey everyone, I am here with Power's booth, who I'm sure you will recognize from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What is it like to be here today as a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, it's pretty crazy. I mean, everyone's been waiting for this film, and it's a huge world, this Marvel world. I was in Avengers, as you know, and now doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's funny how things kind of go full circle, and I'm having a lot of fun.
And as far as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. go, what's it been like becoming part of that ensemble?
Well, you know, I'm now the old hand, as it were, and to experience these really terrific young folks that are on the show, and it's sort of like been like it must have been in the old studio days, because we shoot at Culver City Studios, and it really feels like an ensemble and a familial kind of situation. Plus, to just be a part of all this incredible storytelling has been pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, the storytelling is epic, and also epic are some of the effect scenes that you've been part of. Can you give the Marvel fans sort of an inside look at what it's like when you're sort of strapping on the tech? I don't want to give anything away going to what happens in the next season, but we just saw you in, in the contraption. So tell us about that.
Well, I'll say this, the effects guys on this show for television, it's pretty astonishing what they have done and what they continue to do. I mean, they could have put me in something that would have weighed, 40 or 50 pounds or whatever, but they didn't. It looked totally real. It was easy to work. It seemed, it really helped me as an actor with what they did do. And some of the other things that they do are just extraordinary. And I give the whole Marvel team a lot of credit because it adds to and helps tell the story. Without those special effects, I don't know. I have no idea what this story would be. It's not just special effects, but it certainly makes you understand and get involved with the characters and the storytelling more. And it's thrilling in a way to see the technology that, as it's developed over time, to be able to do this, much less for the producers and the network and whomever to have the courage to do it.
Absolutely. Well, there is a lot of courage on screen tonight. There's a lot of fighting, and thank you so much for stopping and talking with the Marvel fans. Good luck with the rest of the season.
Well, the question always is who's going to win the fighting?
Well, are you Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
Sorry, what?
Team Cap or Team Iron Man? Woohoo!
Red. We're on for always Iron Man. I love Robert. He's an incredible actor, and I look forward to seeing his work every time he comes out.
Excellent. Well, have a fantastic time.
Thank you.
Enjoy the night. Thanks so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up, we are going to be visited by Paul Bettany, known to all Marvel fans as Vision. We met him. Paul, come on over. We met him, of course, in Avengers Age of Ultron. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am loving the purple glasses.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's my thing.
It's a good thing. So when we met you, we're talking live to the Marvel fans.
Hey, Marvel fans.
When we met you in Avengers Age of Ultron, you were new. It was your birth. Where in Vision's development is he right now?
Yeah, in Ultron you got to see me born on screen, which I don't think is ever going to happen again. And he was omnipotent, but also really naive and learning things at an extraordinary rate. And I think by the time you've met him in this movie, he is trying to figure out what's good about humanity and what love is and what loyalty is, because we're at a moment where loyalty is needed, and logic doesn't afford loyalty. So because new information can come to light, and if you're just a logical being, you might flip to Captain America's side. But so I think he realizes it's pretty urgent for him to understand what love is.
Well,
I want to know what love is, and I want you to show me.
I want to know what love is.
There you go.
If you prompt me, musical theater background, I can't help myself. Another random question. So in Avengers Age of Ultron, as you're forming yourself, we see you get that nice, lovely cape as Thor walks by, sort of inspired by his fashion choices. We see some more fashion choices for Vision this time around.
Oh. Yes, there's a whole synthetic person / Cary Grant thing that I'm aiming for in this movie.
And at this point, have you gone back to the comics to pull stuff, or are you really focusing on the script and what the writers give you?
Maybe it's just me because I'm a Brit and I didn't grow up with comics, but they send me a bunch of comics every time before I start a job, and they're very useful. But also, we literally have the Yodas of comic books, that we're working for. Kevin, it's the success of the movies, I'm sure, is down to the fact that Kevin Feige, Nate, Jeremy Latcham, all of those people, and the Russo brothers and Joss Whedon, they are fans, they are geeks, who in their adult life are doing exactly what they were doing when they were kids, just at this really high level.
Well, you are fantastic in this movie. Have a wonderful time tonight, and thank you for stopping and talking to the Marvel fans.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you later. All right, Lorraine, what is happening down on your end of the carpet?
Well, of course, lots and lots of people are arriving, of course. And one of my favorite things that keeps happening here over by Arrivals is there's this beautiful Audi. You know, Tony Stark loves a good Audi. There's a beautiful setup with an Audi, and all the stars are stopping to take photos with their car. It's really fun. And also, once we go over by the entrance, you'll be able to see there's a beautiful setup of Harley Davidson motorcycles, because, you know, Cap, Bucky, they like their motorcycles. But we're having a blast over here. How is it ever there where you are?
I am here with David Dastmalchian and from Ant-Man.
Hi, how are you? Good to see
Great.
you.
So last time we were here, there was a lot of pressure. It was your film, and you also couldn't tell us very much. What's it like to be here tonight?
It's amazing. Obviously here supporting Team Cap, because that's our team. And no, it's incredible. It's such a family. It's such an amazing group of people that whenever there's a big event and we can get together to celebrate something like this film, which the whole world is dying to see, I'm just really honored and thrilled that they include me on the guest list.
Well, we're happy that you're here. As far as you know, your future with Ant-Man, you think he chose the right side with Team Cap? But can you see any? Do you think there would ever be any reason he'd go over to Team Iron Man? What would convince him?
Oh, no. He absolutely made the right choice. And I don't question our leader, Scott Lang, Ant-Man. He knows what he's doing. Although I am going to propose a third team. I just want to put it out there. I want to call it Team Groot. And I think there's these knuckleheads in another side of the galaxy that could do really well with, like, Luis, Kurt, maybe Dave, like kind of those guys. Like, we could all join up and then bring them around. I don't know. I just think we want to throw things a little more even zanier into the mix. So
Like Rocket needs to be there?
Well, of course, Rocket's going to be there whether you invite him or not, and it's going to be like one hell of a party, obviously. But yeah, I feel like Kurt would have a lot of fun in whatever team he gets to be a part of. But it's awesome getting to be on Team Cap.
Now wait, for Team Groot, would they be sort of in favor of more government control and regulation, or are they like, no, we're doing what we want to do?
Without question, do what we got to do. They do what they want to do more often than they do what they got to do, and sometimes that leads them into trouble. But that's why they get along so well with our little team. You know, we make waffles. We'll have them over for a waffle party. We have dance.
Where's my waffle?
I think if Pena shows up tonight, Luis, he was supposed to bring some, so hopefully, he'll be showing up with them.
Excellent. Well, I'm not going to hold my breath, but I am going to send you on your way because there are a couple other people here who want to talk with you. Thank you so much for stopping and talking to the Marvel fans.
Thank you.
All right, have a great time tonight.
Thanks. Thank you so
Good
much.
to see you. All right, like we said, there are a ton of people here from the Marvel Universe. Next up, we've got Nick Blood from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hello,
how are you
doing? I'm all right, how are you?
I'm great. I love that we match.
Well, we sort of clash a little bit, really. But...
maybe they can't see that through the monitor. So, what's it like to be here now on this carpet with your storyline sort of wrapped up on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Largely it's just really hot because they put a greenhouse over everything for some reason. So
they were afraid it was going to rain.
But being here and having... What? Sorry, I don't understand the question.
I was saying, what's it like being here, with the finale of your storyline on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
That my storyline isn't affecting my presence here right now. I'm not thinking about it.
You're just thinking about watching this awesome movie.
Yeah, I'm just having fun.
Now, question, if Hunter had to talk his way onto either Team Cap or Team Iron Man, what do you think would be his pitch?
I think he'd try and talk them onto his own team.
Really?
Yeah, he'd bring the peace. He'd get them together. It'd be cool. Yeah. Make love, not war.
And as far as, we're going to see some new characters entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What was your reaction when you heard Spider-Man was going to finally be appearing in the ensemble?
My reaction was, like that. That's how I reacted. I went.
Wait, can we get it again?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Because someone's going to make a gif of that, right?
Oh, I hope not.
And as far as we've got these great themes in this movie. Sort of more control versus less control. Where do you personally fall?
Oh man, that's a big question. Like more control or less? I think less control. I think if you trust people, then they reward you with responsibility.
Got it. And just to give the fans a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., tell me a little bit about what you guys do to prep for all those incredible fight scenes.
Oh yeah, it's just we get lots of stunt training. We've got some great guys like Matt Mullins and stuff, and Eric who are great and kind of put us through our paces. Tanner and that all the stunt dudes. But we're also very lucky that we've got amazing stunt doubles. who make us look really, really good. So I'm more than Adrienne is always kind of like, I want to do all my own stunts. I'm like, go ahead, guys.
I would not want to get in Adrienne's way. Thank you so much for stopping and talking to the Marvel fans.
See you later. Nice one.
Have a great time tonight. Lorraine, how are you doing down there? Are you talking to Comic Cave? What's happening down there with you?
Hey Marvelites, I'm here with Mike Dodge, CEO of The Audience. Can you tell me a little bit about what The Audience is exactly?
Sure, Lorraine. The Audience is one of the world's largest social media publishing and influencer activation companies with access to over 6,500 celebrity influencers and access to 1 billion consumers worldwide. And we've been really successful over these years helping keep brands relevant in the social media age. We've been able to tie together Fortune 500 companies and Hollywood studios in really creative and innovative ways. So, and we're really excited because Al Ali Holding Group's association with Marvel and Disney gives the audience the opportunity to create unique content and engage Comic Cave Studios collectibles with superhero fan bases from around the world.
I love that so much. We love our social media here at Marvel. I'm sure a bunch of people online are watching right now. So I gotta ask, the man of the hour is Captain America, but are you gonna be Team Captain America or are you Team Iron Man?
I have to stay loyal and true to my red Iron Man. So I'm red all the way.
All right, Iron Man. Okay, Captain America fans, it's gonna be all right, but I think it's a good choice. He's a smart guy. You guys, we have more here on the red carpet.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Well, we are definitely getting a good split between Team Cap and Team Iron Man. Not sure if you guys are keeping track, but we have a little bit of both on this end. It seems like Lorraine down at her end of the carpet is getting a little bit more of Team Iron Man. So I want to hear from some of the ladies who are in this movie, because this movie features an incredible amount of women who just kind of kick butt. So we are going to hear from some of those women right now, I believe.
In this film, what's exciting is the stakes become higher and higher.
Captain, people are afraid.
Natasha is a bit torn between either side. With Cap, they really have a relationship where she wants to reason with him. Stay out of this one. Please. You'll only make this worse. But she sees Tony as a path of least resistance.
I'm sorry, did I just mishear you, or did you agree with me?
Oh, I want to take it back.
I'm really glad to be a part of it. Sharon Carter, she's a little sassier. And
Follow me.
We get to do a little bit of fighting in this. It's awesome.
What I like about Wanda is the idea of her being terrified of her own abilities. It's really fun to play with.
You know what's about to happen. Do you really want to punch your way out of this? There's been a few moments where you kind of look around and, oh, I'm in good company. This is rad. All right.
Hey everyone, I am here with Bob Layton, the co-creator of Scott Lang and War Machine, and we kind of look like we're dressed
Look
to go
at
to
this.
prom.
Yeah, I mean we should go to like a hoedown or something later.
I have heard there are rumors of dance-offs with this cast.
Really?
So.
That could be fun. Hey, I mean, you and I could go after Chris Evans and Scarlett, right?
Definitely. I think we could give them a run for their money.
Okay, we'll take them on. Why not?
So tell me a little bit about what it's like to be here on this carpet.
This is such an amazing experience this time, because you remember we met at Ant-Man, right? But this movie especially, because I have characters in it, at least 3 that I've developed a lexicon of over the years, and it's really exciting for me to see this. I haven't seen the movie, so I'm just like you guys. I can't wait to see what happens here. Like I said, although I got my Ant-Man tux on, I'm representing Tony too. If I got to pick a team, I'm probably going to lean more toward Team Red, because 40 years with that character, I think that's where my heart lies.
And that's actually one of the things I think is pretty amazing about this film, because there are people who have history with the comics, and there are now people who have 8-9 years of history with the films that Marvel has put out.
No, I mean it was so amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing some people, because like Downey's here and a few others. I haven't seen him since Iron Man 2. This is the premiere of that, so I'm really looking forward to seeing some old friends, as well as Jeremy Latcham and Kevin and everybody. So it's going to be a bit of a reunion as well, you know.
And did you tell me that your 90-year-old mom is watching this?
My mom, Carlene, she's watching this right now in Indiana, and my grandchildren are watching down in Florida, you know.
So do your grandkids just think you're like the coolest ever?
Well, yeah, I don't let them call me the G word. I mean, that grandpa, because I'm still dating. So I got a rap name. They call me Biggie G.
All right, Biggie G. I hope you have a wonderful time tonight. Enjoy watching
And
Creations.
Jill and Jason, thank you so much for everything.
All right.
All
Thanks
right.
so much. Good to see you. All right. Next up, we have Brett Dalton and Elizabeth Henstridge from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hello! You look so lovely.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you, but I've got body makeup on. I want to make you all. Sorry.
A little bit of behind the scenes. Hey, how are you?
Smooth entrance. That was a smooth entrance. Do I stand here? Do I stand?
Yes, you are standing exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm a little nervous to stand near you, given what's going on with that. But
Don't worry, I'm right here.
all right, you're my shield.
Clearly. Yo, yeah. Wow, good one.
I'm quick.
Nice.
I like the puns. I know you do too.
Thank you. Yes, and I appreciate that one. Team Pun.
Team Pun.
The Civil War stuff. Let's get together as wordsmiths. Just, you know, chatting it up.
We have to figure out the right type of people to have on our team if we're wordsmiths.
I see what you did there. It's quite nice.
Oh, I just got that. I don't know if I can play this game.
All right, so let me ask you a couple questions about the show. First off, congratulations on the renewal. Season 4 picked up.
Thank you. We're so excited.
Yes, yeah, I mean, what more can I say? Of course. I'm excited as well.
So, okay, so let's just talk about Ward for a minute. You have gone through so many physical manifestations this season. What's that been like for you? How do you prepare for that? Are you like body makeup? You're wearing contacts? Give the fans an inside look.
You had to get really thin that one time. Get really thin.
Yeah. I don't know how you prepare for that. I mean, every day, I never know what the writers are going to throw at me. Certainly for that last episode, I had to work on my runway walk, as you saw. There were wind machines and everything. I feel like, you know, Tyra Banks would be proud.
Oh, yeah.
I really tried to do my best with that. So you never know what the role is going to call for you to do. And that one, I just had to find my inner
Tyra.
my inner Tyra. I was smizing the whole time. I think you'll agree.
And as far as you go, you know, Gemma in the past has kind of always been a rule follower, so one might think she'd be on, you know, Team Iron Man, but we've definitely seen some changes with that this year. Where do you think she'd fall as far as this philosophical argument goes?
I still think she'll be Team Iron Man. As much as she's softened emotionally, I think she will always go back to science, and I think that's what her and old Tony share. But we'll see. I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, so maybe she'll change her mind.
Who would you rather have as a lab partner, Tony Stark or Dr. Banner?
Dr. Banner, I feel like there'd just be like, you know, more tension, kind of. You never know what's going to happen.
That's true, that's true. And how about you, Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me if who would I like as my lab partner.
Does Hive spend time in the lab?
No, he doesn't. But if he did, I don't know. So
Right now, you're kind of Cap, right?
Yes, Team Cap or Team Iron Man. I think
You can't have both.
Ward/Hive would be Team Hydra, but I am personally Team Cap.
Who would you recruit for Team Hydra? Who would, if you could pick like 3 of them, who would you recruit?
Oh man, that's a good question.
What do you mean? You'll be like, Black Widow, Black Widow, Black Widow.
Yeah.
Come
Can
on.
you answer for me just from here on out?
That actually seems to be a very popular choice. When I was interviewing the cast the other day, when I was like, who would you pick from one side there? Everyone just wanted Scarlett, so.
Right. I feel like that's not surprising.
No.
You know?
Do you think, I mean, is there anything that could break the agents up at this point and cause their own internal civil war?
Aside from this budding romance between Hive and Simmons.
Yeah, that's going to be the main one. Season
that's
4,
season
hello.
4, that's
yeah.
a big.
Yeah.
Fitz, I don't know, Fitz kind of showed that he's got some moxie this time around, so you better watch out.
I think both of these guys are not to be messed with. I think that this whole thing about the lab assistant thing is just really a show. I mean, these guys are really the. I think that's right.
And fighty.
And fighty and just punchy.
Yeah,
kicky.
punchy, sexy, and fighty.
Pow pow.
Punchy, sexy, fighty, you heard it here. I think we need t-shirts with that.
Yeah, hashtag it all up.
Science is punchy, sexy, fighty.
Yeah.
Science
Season
BS.
4, done.
Yeah.
And speaking of hashtags, you guys do such a great job of live tweeting and of talking with the fans. What's that experience been like for you, getting all that feedback immediately?
It's cool. It's something that we feel really lucky that we get to have because we shoot in a vacuum and, you know, you don't get that interaction and the fans have always been so lovely to us, and even if they haven't loved an episode, they've been very positive about how it could be improved, and we felt very welcomed into the whole Marvel universe. So, yeah, I feel like it's been a good experience.
Well, you guys are a very important part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Have a fantastic time tonight inside. Enjoy this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So beautiful.
Thank you. You guys
What
too.
team are you on? Neutral.
Yes.
I mean, what's pink?
You
It's
deliberately
kind of...
did not wear red or blue, but right in the middle.
I'm not going to lie, that's totally true. I had a blue dress. I didn't wear it because I didn't want to seem partial.
I almost wore that color too. I'm glad I changed it last minute.
All right, have a fantastic time tonight. Great to see you. Bye.
You too.
All right, we have Christopher Markus and Stephen Mcfeely, the screenwriters of Captain America Civil War. Also, come on, guys, hello. Hello.
I understand we're live.
Oh, we are so live. We're talking to the fans, though, so they love you already.
Good to see you.
So introduce yourselves in case they may not be as familiar with your faces as your scripts.
It's true. I'm Steve Mcfeely.
I'm Chris Markus.
And you guys are like Captain America experts at this point. Yeah. So you went into this having written a Captain America movie already. How hard was it to be fair and balanced when, you know, writing Tony's side of the story?
Well, you know, you have Robert Downey Jr., so he takes care of the balancing. You know, you don't have to go like, no one will notice him if we don't write.
We better prop him up.
Yeah.
The guy needs help.
He'll be fine. But also what we wanted, when we wrote this, we didn't want anybody to be all right or all wrong. So no matter how much we love Cap, we wanted him to be a little wrong. So it balanced out just naturally.
It's kind of nice to see Cap be a little wrong. You know, we got a tease of that in Avengers Age of Ultron during that fantastic woodcutting scene where he mentions a dark side. How was it getting to tap into that a little bit?
Oh, satisfying. I mean, that's we've always thought that Cap is, and Chris Evans is Gary Cooper, is this kind of this unblemished character. But that's not necessarily true or satisfying long term. So we wanted to give him something that put him opposite all of his friends, and Bucky was a pretty good, you know.
I mean, he doesn't have a dark side. He's not like, you know, smoking crack or anything. But he is, I would say he acts perhaps selfishly, which is new for him, but he's waited nearly 100 years to do it. So it's like, maybe it's time, maybe he's due, you know.
And I love this theme of friendship that you guys have running through this film. You know, this idea of who are your friends, who are you loyal to? What do you think is stronger? When push comes to shove and you have to throw a punch, do you choose the person you have history with, or do you choose the person whose ideals you side with?
Depends on what they're doing. If they're both in the right, it's tough. If the person you have history with is being a complete jerk, you gotta hit them.
Well, speaking of hits, you guys have a hit on your hand because this is wonderful. It's such a fantastic movie, and I walked out of it not knowing which side I was on.
Good, that's what we
That's
want.
exactly what we want. And we want a 50-50 split. Yeah.
Well, have a fantastic time tonight. Enjoy the film. You deserve it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for talking to the fans. Lorraine, I'm checking in with you. What is happening down there?
Hey Marvelites, I'm here with Abdullah Mahmoud, who is the director of marketing for the Al Ali Group, and you're here to tell us a little bit about the Universal events. What are they all about?
Universal Events and Entertainment is an international pop culture events company. We successfully hosted our first Comic-Con event in Manila. Our association with Marvel and Disney began right in Manila, where we screened the exclusive teaser for Captain America Civil War. For the Asian fans, they were excited.
Yeah, I bet.
And right today, our association still continues with the movie. We promise to provide all our superhero fans the ultimate experience at our Comic-Con events. Watch out for the events which are going to come out in Korea, Philippines, and UAE. Thank you.
We Marvel fans love our Comic-Cons. That sounds totally amazing and fun. So whose team are you on? Are you Team Cap or are you Team Iron Man?
Does my tie tell it everything? It's Captain America and a little bit of Captain Iron Man.
A little bit of Captain Iron Man. Gotta love both of them. I mean, they are best friends. Stick around for more here on the red carpet.
right, so we have stars who are arriving. I'm sure you can hear the fans behind me screaming every now and then as this carpet gets more and more crowded. It was really cool to talk to the writers, and this as they talked a little bit more and give us some insight into really trying to craft a movie where you don't know which side that you're on. And there are so many wonderful characters that are pulled into this movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that, you know, a lot of people jokingly have been calling it Avengers 2.5. But it is very clearly a movie that is focused on Captain America and the next step in his journey. And one of the producers, Nate Moore, has talked very specifically about that in interviews. The idea that one of the things they wanted to explore in this film was, where is Cap now? He's still a man out of time, you know, and how could they kind of push the envelope on that and really, really give him a challenge he had to overcome? You know, he started as somebody who went out on a mission, came back 70 years later, and pretty much everyone he knew was gone, almost everyone. And he had to find a place, he had to find a home. And so, you know, it seemed like S.H.I.E.L.D. was going to be that home. And then, of course, we saw the events in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and that kind of all flew apart. And then we saw what happened in Avengers Age of Ultron, and it seemed like he finally had a place to be when in training the next round of Avengers, but we'll see what happens next. All right, Lorraine, how's it going down there?
Well, now I'm here down at the other end of the carpet. This is right at the entrance where everyone goes into the Dolby Theatre to sit down to watch the screening of the film. And I love being here because it's one of the places everybody stops to take photos with their families. You know, something we don't think about with these movies in the MCU is there are thousands and thousands of people who work on these movies, whether it's on the set or behind the scenes or in marketing. And it's so lovely to get to see the people that can be here with their families and share this experience with them. So I'm having a wonderful time. How is it there in the center of all the action?
There is a lot going on down here. We have people coming down the carpet, making their way, taking photos, and they're stopping by. We have talked with some really cool people. We talked with the screenwriters, you know, who not only wrote Captain America Civil War, but also wrote The Winter Soldier.
That's right. They've written all of the Captain America films, which is so impressive, and it shows such a wonderful through line of those films, having them work on all three.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, this idea that they really wanted to have this film be the next step in Cap's journey. And we also got to talk to some of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was doing a little bit of punning with Brett Dalton, because we all know he loves that. They're so great on social media talking to the fans. Just a reminder too, if you guys want to join in on the conversation, use the hashtag Captain America Premiere. Follow us on Twitter at Captain America, at Facebook. And thanks again, of course, to Comic Cave Studios for being able to bring this live stream directly to you guys so you can see all the action.
And of course, if you guys want to check out all of the action happening here on the red carpet, you can go to marvel.com/Captain America Premiere, where there are live blogs and there are photos. And of course, you can still watch me and Tamara here on the live stream talking to all of your favorite celebrities. I love this film because it's such a big ensemble film, even though at its heart, it is a Captain America film. You know what I mean, Tamara?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, Cap is still, I'm curious to talk to Chris Evans to see, does he feel like he has finally found home? Does he feel like he's finally found a place? But that said, the fact that there are so many characters in supporting him, and you know, we've really built up a history with these characters.
Oh, absolutely.
And there are so many seeds that have been planted for this story throughout all of the Marvel movies that we get to see come to fruition. So viewers walk in knowing that history, loving that history. Although I do want to reassure the viewers who may be coming to this movie for the first time, maybe you're a Chris Evans fan, but you've never been to a Captain America movie, you should. That you can come in and see this movie from day one and just be completely ensconced in the action, right, Lorraine?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the 13th, lucky 13th film in the MCU, and something that's wonderful about it is if you watch all 13 movies, you're going to get a whole kind of connected universe where everything's going to have little pieces of each other in it, but you can still walk over to a single franchise film and say, watch all the Captain America films and have a good experience, and even if you don't know that character well, you're still going to go on a crazy ride with that character. You know?
Absolutely. And speaking of 13, I've been told that Emily Vancamp, who plays Sharon Carter, Agent 13, is making her way down the carpet. So we'll be talking to her very soon. And you know, we saw a little bit of her in Winter Soldier, but now she definitely does some butt kicking in this. You got to see her talk about that a little bit earlier in some of the interviews that we showed you. And so she's on her way down. We'll see her shortly. And of course, we have all your other favorite stars arriving. We have Robert Downey Jr., we have Chris Evans, we have Anthony Mackie. So it is going to be a really, really exciting full night here on the carpet.
You know, something that I'm very, very excited to see, of course, are 2 new characters to the Marvel Cinematic Universe tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to, you know, seeing our favorite wall crawler. I saw your interview with Tom Holland. What a darling guy. And, you know, he's only 19. He's the most age-appropriate Spider-Man I think that we've ever seen cast in the role. And I think it's so amazing to see him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because in the comics world, we see him sort of interact all of the time with superheroes, but we haven't gotten to see that in film yet. And so I think that's going to be a really, really exciting thing to see.
With Emily Vancamp, looking gorgeous. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. This is amazing, isn't it? These things are always so wild. I always get a bit like, whoa, what's happening? So many people.
I know, it's a lot. We were just talking about how many, even though it's a Captain America film, there's so many characters from the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, it's amazing how many characters there are in this film, but it's incredible how they just made it work and found this incredible balance of drama and humor and action, and I mean, it's a fantastic film. I think people are going to be happy.
Okay,
someone's just arrived.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but someone in a really fast car. Okay.
Someone who knows how to make an arrival in big time. So as far as this film goes, tell us a little bit about what Sharon Carter has been up to.
Man, well, Sharon Carter's been up to a lot since we last saw her in The Winter Soldier. I think when we see her in this film, we sort of introduce a bit more of a mature Sharon Carter. You know, she's less in that rookie phase. She's a little bit more self-assured. And, you know, with everything that's going on, I think we really get to see where her loyalties lie in this film. And that's something in the comic books that I always loved about her and her relationship with Steve. You know, they had each other's backs. And you sort of see that a little bit. We start to scratch the surface of that in this. So it was really fun to play.
Well, I didn't see you do any scratching, but I saw you do a lot of kicking and punching. Tell me about the action.
There's a lot of head kicking. No, it's so much fun. I mean, I only did a little bit of it in this one, but, you know, I did a lot of it on Revenge, and I love that stuff. It's so much fun. But, you know, it was kind of surreal to be sort of like going after Bucky. I was like, but it's Bucky, but he's still the Winter Soldier. No, it was really fun, and it was cool to do with Scarlett. She's obviously been doing this for a long time, and, you know, it was like a fun little thing to do.
And you had a lot of amazing powerhouse women on this film.
Yes. It's awesome. I mean, Lizzie's fantastic. Scarlett's amazing, as always. Like, it's cool. It's really fun to be a part of that.
Can you give the fans, you know, since we're talking directly to the fans live, can you give them kind of an inside look of what it's like to shoot an action film? You know, I mean, is it sort of stop and go? Do you do a kick and they're like, get out of here?
All those sequences are very stop and go and rehearsed and choreographed, you know, so it's amazing how it all comes together and looks like one fluid, quick sequence when really, you know, we've chopped it into like a million pieces, also because it's safer to do it that way. But yeah, it's so much fun.
Well, it looks like fun. You can tell you guys are having fun. Have a fantastic time at the screening tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Bye. See you tonight. So there you have it. Next up, we're going to have Mike Colter, who is Marvel's Luke Cage. We got to meet him on Jessica Jones, and he's coming over here right now. He's one of my favorites. And come on over, talk to me, talk to the fans.
I'll say nothing crazy.
Come over here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pleasure, pleasure. I'm glad to be here. It's a lovely, lovely event, and I'm thrilled. A lot of energy.
So what's it like being here now that you are officially part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
It's such a warm, tingly feeling. It's like a built-in audience that, you know, you just are given as a present. I can't imagine anything else being this exciting. So I'm just kind of like enjoying it all. I'm here. I got dressed up. Someone dressed me. I took a shower. I shaved. You know, I'm feeling it.
Wait, now what does that mean when someone dressed you? They're like, oh, what is this? This is lovely.
Stylist. I have a stylist. I didn't even look at it. I don't know what I'm wearing. I just saw it in the mirror, and I was like, this looks good. So somebody gave me some clothes, and I put them on, and here I am. Yeah.
All right, Marvel fans, if you think Mike Colter looked good, let him know. Let him know. Tell him on social media.
Please.
So can you give us a glimpse of what's in store with Luke Cage when it releases on Netflix?
Well, it's funny. The question always comes up, what should we look forward to? And it's set in Harlem, modern-day Harlem, which is so unique. I don't know if there's a lot of people who have been to Harlem who have actually stepped foot in New York City and gone uptown to 125th Street and seen what the Apollo Theater is like and the Cotton Club. We're going to bring that world to them, and that is a unique character unto itself. A lot of times you watch television and you're transported somewhere, or we're going to transport you somewhere, and it's first of all, it's a fugitive tale. Marvel's Luke Cage is a fugitive tale about a man wrongly convicted, and he's then found his way into being a superhero. So it's a long journey. He's a Renaissance man. He becomes a man, a superhero, all in one series, and he's building towards something. So he's a work in progress, and that's what makes me so excited about the character. He's a work in progress.
Can you give us any insight into where things are with Jessica, where things have been?
Oh, Jessica. Well, since we last left off, she, I found some news that kind of hurt my feelings. No spoiler intended. I won't get into details, but I still like her. I still care about her. It's going to take something to get over that. But I'm in mourning, so we'll see what Luke Cage has to offer, because Luke is a man who likes to have some fun. So I'm going to leave it at that. For all the kids out there.
Yes, this is a family-friendly stream.
Yeah.
Something else I wanted to ask you is you seem to have found a sweet spot in playing characters who kind of walk the line in having a good side and a dark side. I mean, even on The Good Wife, we saw a wonderful, loving father and someone who maybe wasn't so moral. So tell me about what that's like for you as an actor, and which side of Team Cap or Team Iron Man you'd be on.
Well, okay, so to address the moral ambiguity of a lot of my characters, I feel like, that's who we are in real life. Anybody who I meet who is always good, that worries me. That just worries me. I need somebody to give me both sides. You can't be all good all the time.
I think Tony Stark actually said that to Captain America at one point.
See, I mean, I didn't even steal that from him. It's just common sense, and I just feel that moral ambiguity is something that everyone has inside of them, and you just have to embrace it. So all the characters I play, I don't look at them as good or bad. They're just complex people, and sometimes they do things that suit them, and sometimes they do things that suit others. So it's funny, the outfit I'm wearing right now, as you can see, it's a little bit of blue and a little bit of red, right? I did not get the memo until the last minute. I was set to wear a red suit today, I kid you not, and I emailed my stylist and I said, I don't know if it's red. I might not be able to pull that off. I'm a little bit nervous about it. She said, no, listen, I think you can do it. I said, okay, fine. So she shows up. I said, let me see the red suit. She says, I brought the blue one. I'm like, the blue one, you told me you're going to bring me the red one. And so here we go. I put the red tie on. So now I'm playing both sides,
I went with pink so that there was no choice of...
Hot pink, it's good. I love it. I love it. It goes great.
Well, have a fantastic time tonight. Thank you so much for stopping and talking with the Marvel fans.
Much.
We cannot wait to see Luke Cage.
Awesome. September 30th. I'll see you then.
Woohoo! Awesome. All right. Have a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. We have Robert Downey Jr. arriving. Take a look, emerging from the car. There he is with his wife, I believe, Susan Downey. We saw a ton of Team Iron Man when we were out amongst the fans earlier. And of course, he is taking his time to talk with them, to sign posters. He is getting autographs. The fans, as we were saying earlier, have been here all day long. We thought it was going to rain here today, and it's not. So these guys have been sitting out in the sunshine. So the fact that he's taking the time to talk with them, to sign autographs, is awesome. It's what the fans have come here for. So we love that he is taking the time. And of course, we'll be talking to him a little bit later on the carpet when he makes his way down after taking his time with the fans. So we want to hear from you guys. We want to know, did you enjoy his arrival? Do you think the pull-up in the Audi was cool? Let us know on social media, hashtag Captain America Premiere. Lorraine, what are you seeing down there?
Hey guys, I'm having a blast here over at the other end. Of course, everything is heating up, and how amazing is Robert Downey Jr. Every time we do one of these premieres, he takes wonderful time to go and sign those autographs, and he has gone on such a journey, from the very first Marvel MCU film, Marvel's Iron Man, he has been the heart and soul of the MCU, and it's so interesting to see him in that role now with Captain America Civil War, seeing him butt heads with, Steve Rogers, his pal. So Tamara, how is everything there?
Everything here is great because I'm here with Clark Gregg.
Yes, I like that. And I'm here with Henry Simmons.
Henry Simmons, how are you?
I'm good. I've got the Greg Simmons sandwich. I'm so happy right now.
It's good. Worst things could happen to you. Or me, really, because I'm really the meat in the sandwich.
You kind of are the meat in the sandwich. You're what holds things together.
It's okay, thank you. The glue, once again.
Right, which is a nice segue into how do you keep the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. together? Like Civil War, do you think there would ever be a big issue that would force them into opposing groups?
I don't know, one of the fun things about our show is we got our own version of Civil War that's been going on this season on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the Inhumans, which are people, you know, who evolve differently, and suddenly some people want to either wipe them out or put them away, and other people want to respect their rights as beings.
And for you, you lost two very good friends on the show, your character did. Could we talk about that bar scene for a second?
Well, let me tell you, for me, the scene went beyond anything that was written. It was the most personal scene that I've ever done on the show, because they are close friends in real life as well. And although you see them outside of work, not seeing them every day, it was my way of letting Adrienne and Nick know how much I love them. That's what it was.
It was a heartbreaking day for all of us.
It was a heartbreaking day for fans. I was really moved when I was watching that.
A lot of people. There was a lot of fantastic, ugly crying GIFs on the internet.
We can always use more ugly crying gifts on the internet.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to the fans. Real quick, Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
Team Cap, I mean, I've got a legendary soft spot for the dreamy Cap, but I also have a real, you know, fondness for Tony Stark, snark and all. Team Cap, at least I haven't seen the movie yet, but in the comics, Cap really opposes registering people with powers, and that's where Coulson seems to be on the show, so I think that's where I live.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I agree. I'm going to say Team Cap as well.
All right, guys, you heard it here. We got 2 for Team Cap. Have a great time tonight, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
We're loading the scale for Team Cap, and now we've got Anthony and Joe Russo, the directors of Captain America: Civil War.
Hi.
Oh, this is awesome.
Oh yeah. I got How are ya? colors today. So we are Marvel here.
Oh yeah, we're talking live to the fans. This is live streaming, and also
That's a live stream to the fans right there. Marvel fans, how are ya?
And in case you guys don't know, do you only know their work behind the camera? Introduce yourselves.
I'm Joe Russo, and this is my brother Anthony Russo. Hey everybody.
And I'm daring to say you're on Team Cap.
Well, come on, the movie's called Captain America, you know? No, but honestly, Joe and I tried to craft a story where there were 2 valid points of view in this movie. One is Captain America's, one is Iron Man's, and they go head to head. So we tried to balance things very much. That was our job as storytellers, and it's up to the audience to side one way or the other.
One of the things that is so incredible about this film, we get to meet Spider-Man. We talked to Tom Holland before, and Black Panther. What was your reaction when you found out you were going to get to play with these characters in the film?
Oh, it was amazing. I've been a comic book fan all my life. Spider-Man was my favorite character growing up, so honestly a dream come true. And then to bring Black Panther to the screen for the first time, it's the first iteration of the character on screen. He's such a revered character. I think we put more pressure on ourselves regarding the interpretation of Black Panther than we did anything else in the movie.
Well, it shows. He's fantastic. It is so great to watch him. Something else, you know, there's that incredible splash panel scene. Can you give the fans a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at what it was like putting that together?
Sure. It was a very complicated scene. It's about 17 minutes long. It involves almost every character in the movie. And, you know, it took us months and months of planning with our visual effects department, our stunt team, doing what we call pre-visualizations, which are basically animation of the sequence before we shoot it, stunt visualization, which is small videos that we shoot of the stunt team in their gym executing the fight moves, and then we note that we note the pre-viz and the stunt viz, take it another step forward and another step forward. And then finally we get to shooting it, and we shot that, I think, slowly over the course of the entire film, and we worked on it in post almost until we delivered the movie about last week.
Well, all of your work definitely pays off. It's incredible. I'm looking forward to seeing the film again tonight. Have a great time this evening.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I told you to have a great time.
Thank you so much, yeah.
You can't hear anything because the fans are just screaming for all the arrivals.
Downey is right behind us. We can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear anything when Downey's around. Everyone just screams for the fact that he's here.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, Marvel fans.
All right, have a fantastic time. All right, as he said, Robert Downey Jr. is making his way down the carpet, and we will be talking with him very soon. I think, oh yes, Anthony Mackie is there too, which we're very happy about. And we'll hopefully get to talk to him as he makes his way down. And as you said, this is still a Captain America film. The Russo brothers focused on Captain America, of course, but really being able to tell a balanced story. And we've seen seeds of this story planted in a bunch of different places in some of the other films. We're also going to get to re-meet some characters we haven't seen in a while. I am talking about William Hurt, who plays Secretary Ross. You may remember him from The Incredible Hulk. He has gotten a little bit of a promotion. He was General Ross back then, Thunderbolt Ross. He is now Secretary of State, and he plays a pivotal role. He is the point person for the Sokovia Accords, which of course you've seen talked about in the teaser. And that is the international agreement which is giving government oversight to all of the superheroes. And he makes a very good point as he's talking to these guys about the fact that, you know, maybe there's a need for government oversight. When you look at what's happened in DC, in Sokovia, in Seoul, maybe he's not entirely wrong about that. And then if you even go back further into Avengers Age of Ultron, you see more of this conversation the groundwork being laid for this conversation. There is that great scene between Jeremy Renner's character, between Hawkeye, and between Wanda, where they are returning the synthetic tissue technology to Dr. Cho, or at least Wanda thinks it's going to Dr. Cho. It's actually going to Tony Stark. And when she finds out, she is absolutely horrified because she doesn't think it's safe in his hands. And she says, you know, Ultron doesn't know the difference between saving and destroying the world, and where do you think he learned that from? So lots of good points about either side. Now we're going to go to the other side of the carpet. Lorraine, how are you doing? What's happening down there?
Well, it is starting to get really crowded, really busy. You know, something that's fun about this place is nobody wants to go inside until it's time for the movie, because you want to see all of these amazing, incredible stars. We had a lot of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are hanging out, having fun, and they're such an adorable, lovely cast because they always are hanging out together. They're making jokes, and you just see them having a great time together. And Tamara, it sounds like you are having a special guest over there.
I have a very special guest. Hello, Stan. How are you?
Hello there. I think I'm pretty good.
I think you're pretty great. How is it being here tonight?
Pardon me?
How's it being here tonight?
It is wonderful. Every time I'm here for a showing, it seems to be better than the last time. The enthusiasm of the fans, that's what gets me. They not only are here because they like to see celebrities, but they love these movies and they care about them, and that's so gratifying.
And for you, you're going to see some new characters on screen for the first time. Spider-Man, Black Panther. What was your reaction when you found out they were joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I wasn't surprised, but I'm happy as hell. No, Marvel just knows how to put things together and do it in a surprising, unexpected way, and making it work after they've done it. They're wonderful.
Who would you recruit for Team Stan?
Captain America.
Whoa, Captain America. No doubt about that, huh?
No doubt about that.
And why is that?
Well, because Chris is about a half-inch taller than Robert Downey Jr.
It really comes down to...
You need a reason. That's as good a reason. No, I don't care. I love them both. And they're both going to look real good on screen. And the audience is going to have a tough time taking sides. They're going to love them both.
You keep continuing to create and put more things out into the world. What inspires you these days? What makes you excited about things?
Greed. I have my own little company called POW Entertainment, and we're doing other movies. We have a new hero called The Annihilator. Oh, wait till you see him. So it's fun. There's Marvel, there's the POW Entertainment things, there's coming to these openings. It couldn't be more wonderful. It really couldn't.
And why do you think that these superheroes, you know, who have been around for such a long time, still continue to resonate with audiences?
See, I have a theory. Young kids love fairy tales. They get a little old, because there's stories of giants and witches and magicians. The kids get a little older. They can't keep reading fairy tales. but along come these superhero stories, and they're really fairy tales for older people, with people who can fly and are super strong and have superpower. How can you not be fascinated by that if they're written well for grown-ups, but simply enough so kids can enjoy them?
I think that's really part of the magic, the fact that you have, incredible action and all of these magical elements, yet at the same time, you have these really deep themes that resonate.
Right, and you have great action, and you also have characters that the audience can care about. And that's what makes a good movie, I think. You've got to care about the characters, and Marvel does that so well.
And as far as advice to aspiring comic book artists, aspiring writers out there, what would you pass along?
That's a tough one. The artists have to be able to judge their own work and have to be able to tell that what they're drawing is as good as what's being published, or better. Because if it isn't, there's no reason for anybody to hire them. To be a writer, wow, who's that?
I don't know. We're going to find out, though.
You've got to be able to write stories that will appeal to all ages, but not just a lot of action. There's got to be psychology. There's got to be real flesh and blood people.
Excellent. We'll have a wonderful time tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was great talking.
Great talking with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. Stan Lee. Great advice for anyone out there who is thinking about a career in comics and arts. And you may have seen Anthony Mackie went by. We are definitely going to get him on the rebound, so I'll grab him in a minute. We've got a couple of questions to ask. We've also had a bunch of fan questions for Anthony Mackie, so we've tried to look at those. Lorraine, what's happening down at your end of the carpet?
As you can see, it's really filling up. It's quite a madhouse. Everyone's running around, grabbing and snapping photos, and I loved listening to you talk with Stan Lee. Of course, the comics are what brings all of this stuff to life and where it all comes from. And of course, Marvel's Captain America Civil War was based on the Civil War comic written by Mark Millar and Steve McNiven. And even though they're inspired by, they're different in the MCU, it's all about the comics, and I love that so much. I'm actually seeing some comic book writers and artists here in the crowd. I've been seeing them flitting in between, keeping a low profile, but it's so great to see all of the stuff that they're doing. You can see Brett Dalton just ran behind me to go and run and take a picture in the middle of Cap's shield, just to my left. It's one of those fun things about being here in this area is that all of these stars are running around right behind you. And if you guys want to interact with us while we're here on the red carpet, don't forget to go over to marvel.com/Captain America Premiere, and you can interact with us on social media using the hashtag Captain America Premiere, and of course follow @Captain America, and you can also check out Captain America on Facebook and everywhere else, because after all, that's what tonight is all about, the world premiere of Marvel's Captain America Civil War. We're having a great time over here. How's it going with you, Tamara?
We're having a great time down here, too. I don't know if you could hear it at your end of the carpet, but the crowd just started chanting, RDJ, RDJ, RDJ.
I get into it. I understand why you would want to scream that, too.
They get them to pay attention to them, so it's been pretty fun. I actually played a game of Marvel version of Rock, Paper, Scissors with the cast the other day, so I think we should teach it to the fans who are watching. So our version is Cap, Iron, Spidey. And so,
you're doing a wonderful job.
Oh, I think you're doing a wonderful job. Anthony Mackie, guys.
Oh, Anthony Mackie
What's up? How's it going?
Giving my love, Tamara.
Thank you.
This
Lovely
is like
suit.
the Oscar of movie premieres.
It's totally the Oscar of it. It makes sense that it's in the Dolby, right?
One would think.
So, question for you. I've heard you talk about how hot it was shooting in Atlanta.
It was.
And was it hotter shooting in Atlanta or in the desert with you and Renner when you guys did your film together?
You know, shooting in the Middle East with the Hurt Locker was about as half as hot as it was shooting in Atlanta summer with all this gear on. But it was worth it. I mean, hanging out with these guys and shooting this movie, we just really enjoy ourselves. You know, it's good to have a cast of brothers that you can admire their work and hang out together and know you're going to make a damn good movie.
Oh yeah, I saw you guys on Kimmel last night. It looked like you were having a blast.
We had a great time. There's nothing like Sebastian Stan to make you feel good about yourself, because he's going to make fun of you in every moment he has.
And who do you make fun of on set?
Chris, Sebastian, Paul, the other Paul.
I heard you were making fun of Chris's music a little bit. You're trying to get him to try some new stuff?
He has a pretty awful taste in music. It's interesting. I'm happy to say I've made him the biggest fan of Earth, Wind, and Fire because they're the greatest band of all time. They invented the crescendo.
Well, one last question for you. We're talking to the fans live. Can you just give us a quick behind the scenes on what it's like to actually shoot with the wings or not shoot with the wings? Like, what's your body doing?
Well, the problem is at no point in time are you taught how to land like a bird. You know, you're put on your wings, and the wings are about that big, so you just try not to fall on your face. So that's my goal every day, is for my feet to hit the ground before my face.
Excellent. Well, have a fantastic time tonight. Thanks for talking with us. Great to see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Evans, Captain America himself. Hello. We are talking to the Marvel fans live. Chris Evans is supposed to come and talk to us. I hope he's on his way. As we've told you, there are a lot of people here on the red carpet. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Hi, everyone.
Marvel fans. You have such an iconic role in this. You've done a couple of Captain America movies. I want to know what was most important for you to keep consistent for Cap. We talk about what you change every time. What do you want to keep consistent?
God, it's tough. It's a good question. What do you keep consistent? That's tough because they try to make him change as much as possible. God, I think what's consistent is that he's intrinsically a good man. He usually puts himself last, which unfortunately is a little bit of a boring attribute, but they try to find ways where the selflessness can still be dynamic.
And can we talk a little bit about your evolving relationship with Sharon Carter at all?
No, you're gonna have to see that.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing it tonight. Thank you so much. Great to see you. All right, guys, Captain America himself gave us a little bit, and next we've got Robert Downey Jr. 2 questions. Okay.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I almost forgot who you were interviewing. I'm glad there's a card there.
I know, right? Because we wouldn't know who Robert Downey Jr. is. We are talking live to the fans.
Hi.
Hi. And tell me a little bit about what's going on with your foundation and Omaze.
Yes. She's going to cover that because I'm not as smart as I look.
Everybody needs a good woman to come in and tell the truth.
Well, I have to say it was all Robert's idea. He wanted to create this foundation called Random Act Funding so we could learn more about all kinds of interesting organizations.
Educate ourselves.
We didn't want to have to just commit to one, and Omaze was an incredible partner last time we did this. So if you go to omaze.com/RDJ, you get an opportunity to do a great experience with Robert, but the hopes is just raising a lot of money for the foundation.
Awesome. So question for you, too. We would not expect to find Tony on the side of the government and oversight. What was it like kind of playing with that and flipping that on its head?
I think it's probably, it's a great arc for him. Obviously, it's unexpected. And I think some of it's just a function of age, too, you know? It's like half the people that were out there, saying, no nukes and shut down the power plants are now realizing that some would say, nuclear is the best way to go for energy for the future. So I think it's natural to re-examine your beliefs as you age up.
Something else, too? We gotta go. Of course. All right. Thank you. All right, as we were saying earlier, this is a really crowded carpet. So just to give you guys an inside look at how all this works, like we said, 3 blocks long of reporters and photographers who want to talk to everyone. We would love to be able to talk to everyone for as long as we can, but as you can see, the stars are in great demand. So we talk to them, we ask whatever questions we can, and then we got to send them on their way. Also because they've got to start the screening at some point tonight. And we would never want to begrudge the time that the stars spend with the fans who have actually come out here tonight to see them. So we've got a couple more people making their way down the carpet. Team Cap, Team Iron Man, our alliances continue to grow. Let us know what you guys think. Tony Stark has such a great arc in this film, as we really do see him mature and take on a different point of view. And you've seen in the trailers, he's got some cool new hardware, so we'll leave that as a surprise in the film. We don't want to give anything away. But there is some incredible hand-to-hand combat in this thing, and we get to see some really awesome action-packed fights. So we are waiting for the rest of the cast to come down. The sun is starting to go down a little bit, and we are seeing, there you go. you guys. So we've been talking about the deep themes that are in this movie. We're going to give you guys another inside look at what went on behind the scenes. Let's take a look.
Captain, while a great many people see you as a hero, there are some who'd prefer the word vigilante.
The Russos, they make human stories with a superhero feel, as opposed to a superhero movie with, human touches.
Cap 2 Winter Soldier was a bit of a departure and really trying to make its own mark, and they've kind of reinvented it again.
We needed to go in a radical direction if we were going to do another Captain America film, so we were strongly advocating for the Civil War storyline. But we wanted everybody to be both protagonist and antagonist.
Captain, you seem a little defensive. Well, it's been a long day.
It's not villain versus hero, it's friends, it's family. That's what makes it such a good conflict.
In this film, everything's changed.
This doesn't have to end in a fight, Tony.
You just started a war.
All right, guys, we've gotten word that Paul Rudd is on the carpet, Scott Lang. Also, Sebastian Stan is making his way down the carpet. So make sure to join the conversation. You can use the hashtag Captain America Premiere. You can also follow all things Captain America at Captain America, both on Twitter and Facebook. So Ant-Man has a really fun part to play in this ensemble. It's the first time we've seen him join the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. We got to see that really fun scene between him and Falcon in Marvel's Ant-Man, and now we're going to get to see him play with everybody else. So soon we'll be able to talk to him and find out what it was like to actually join up with the rest of the superheroes and see, where does he fall on Team Cap, Team Iron Man personally. Maybe we'll be able to get that out of him too. And here he is. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
How's it like to be here as part of an ensemble as opposed to carrying the whole film?
It's a little less stressful.
You look very relaxed.
Yeah. No, this is great. It's still overwhelming because an entire street is shut down.
Yeah.
And there are people that are lining the sidewalks. It's fun though. It's cool to be a part of.
It's really cool to be a part of. You kind of, in some ways, I feel like are the audience's eyes into joining the Avengers. Scott Lang's reaction. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Right. Yeah. That's kind of part of the fun, is playing a regular person amongst this group. And even though Scott has some of his own abilities, it seems like if you're meeting these people for the first time, it would be hard to play it cool.
Did you have any moments when it was hard for you to play it cool on set?
No, I think I played it pretty cool, but inside I was kind of flipping out a little bit. It's like, wow, I'm 10 years old. There they all are, and they're in their suits.
What do you think your 10-year-old self would have said if he had known that you were going to be doing this now?
He would have said, dude, try and see if you can keep the helmet.
Did you?
No.
All right, well, sadly we have to send you on your way because there's a lot of people here who want to talk to you. Thanks for talking to the Marvel fans.
Thank you for talking to me.
Anytime. Great to see you.
You too.
So, Ant-Man, you are going to see some really fun things from Ant-Man in this film. We've got Sebastian Stan, who I believe is making his way down the carpet, and we'll see who else is going to come visit us. Something else that is, really prevalent in this film are, this idea of Steve Rogers trying to find a home and this question of shifting loyalties. We got to see a lot of the friendship between him and Natasha in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and it's going to be cool to see how that manifests itself as they are presented with shifting alliances, because as we know, she's Team Iron Man. So we'll perhaps be able to ask Kevin Feige about that. He is making his way down the carpet, as he was referred to earlier tonight, I believe, as the Yoda of comic books, because he does indeed know all. So we're excited to talk to him and find out, what went into his thinking when they decided this was indeed the next best story to tell about Captain America and why it was pivotal. You can hear people screaming. I'm not exactly sure who they're screaming for. I do see a girl in an awesome Iron Man dress, so I'm guessing she probably caught sight of Robert Downey Jr. Sebastian Stan is right behind me, so we'll be able to talk to him very soon. Anthony Mackie back and forth. See, that's what Lorraine was talking about. Everyone just comes up, they're hanging out. It's been a while since they've all made the film together. So it's just kind of a big old party here. And then people just like to do shout outs. Are we not talking to Sebastian? We could have grabbed him. I'm here with Kevin Feige.
Hello, hello.
So you're dressed in blue tones. What does that mean? Is that a hint of which side you're on?
It means I made a colossal mistake this morning when I was getting dressed. If people know me, I don't put a lot of thought into my wardrobe, and a tie was involved today, so it was all I could do to actually just find a tie that would fit and a shirt that would fit. My allegiance, as you can tell here, is to the cinematic universe.
Well, you have done a fantastic...
Is that a cop-out? Has people been telling you which side they're on?
Yeah, they have been.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're kind of laying out here.
I see. That's per the norm.
All right. Well, the film does not lame out in any way, shape, or form. Why was this the right next story to tell for Cap? What about Civil War made it the next story you wanted to tell?
We were working on with Joe and Anthony Russo, who I'm sure you spoke with Chris Markus and Steve Mcfeely, with Nate Moore. We were sitting in a room talking about the next story to tell. We were so proud of the Winter Soldier and so excited for what it set up, mainly with the story between Bucky and Cap. And a few other stories were pitched and a few other villain agendas and MacGuffins came up. But I started looking at the whole future of Phase 3, and I realized that a story we'd always wanted to do, that this was actually the right time. And even though we didn't have all the players signed for the movie yet, I really thought we have to do Civil War. This is our chance to do this film. And I couldn't be happier being at the premiere tonight. Robert, of course, is in the movie. Spider-Man, which was an unexpected, never would have dared dream, is in the movie.
What was your inner monologue when you found out that you were going to be able to use Spider-Man in this film?
Well, the monologue had been going on for quite a while, and it probably won't happen, it probably won't happen, don't get your hopes up, it probably won't happen. And then I walked into the room where it happens, it's a Hamilton reference, and told the directors and the writers, we have Spider-Man.
Can you get me a ticket to Hamilton? Because I haven't been able to get it.
I was about to ask you.
If anyone can get Kevin Feige a ticket to Hamilton, maybe he can get you into the premiere.
Yep. You only have about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much for talking to the fans.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have a fantastic time tonight.
Bye-bye.
Great to see you. All right, next up we have Frank Grillo, who is returning as Crossbones.
How are you?
Hey, nice to see you.
Oh, there's me, and there's you.
So we're talking live to the fans.
Okay.
So the reason he said that, fans, is because we have a little monitor so that we
can
can
see ourselves. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, but we're not looking at ourselves because I'd rather look at you. So what's it like to come back? You look much better than the last time you had a building dropped on you.
Yeah, I have. I've had some facial work done, so it's great to come back. I mean, it's just to be part. I'm just saying, just to be part of this is it's extraordinary. You know, Marvel rules Hollywood, so rules the world. So this is fun.
And tell me about I know you can't sort of give away, we've seen glimpses of the stunts that you got to do in this, but you were so great at doing the stunt work. What about it really gets you going?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of fight work, and it's kind of my forte in my life. I love to fight. I mean, not in the street, but I love martial arts and stuff. So me and Evans got to do a lot of training and fun stuff, and it's like being 8 years old. I love it.
What do you think your 8-year-old self would say if he could glimpse into the future and see what you're doing now?
He would be. I have an 8-year-old son who does not stop asking me questions, and he's so upset that he could not come tonight. Yes, so it's amazing. I'm tickled by the whole thing. I am. I'm grateful.
And you're here. There are all these fans lining the streets, kids and adults. What's it like feeling that energy? Like, describe that for the fans at home who are watching.
Yeah, I mean, it's overwhelming. It really, it's unnatural because there are no fans like these Marvel fans, and they are true blue and they're hardcore. And when you get out of the car, like over there, you feel this energy that is, you got to kind of settle into it because it's scary.
Well, go settle into your seat in the theater because they're going to be starting it soon. Thank you so much for talking to the fans.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, apparently Scarlett Johansson has arrived on the carpet, so we're going to be talking to her. She, of course, comes back as Black Widow. I want to say this is her 5th time appearing as Black Widow. So it's really great to see the evolution of her character. We got to see so much of the friendship between her and Captain America in The Winter Soldier.
Hey!
Hey!
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I'm here with Sebastian Stan. We are talking live to the Marvel fans.
Oh, where are they? Where are they at?
They are watching on their screens, on their phones, on their tablets.
Nice.
And this is also playing in the theater, so you can wave hi to all your castmates.
I can't wait for everybody to see it. I'm really excited.
How are you feeling tonight? Have you seen the finished film yet?
I did, and I was pretty dumbstruck, I have to say. It's just, I don't know. We have such a great team in the Russos, and Christopher and Steven, our writers, and along with Kevin Feige. I'm always just blown away how they managed to get a story together that has action sequences, laughs, heart, character, and so this movie's got it all.
Can you give the fans kind of a behind-the-scenes insight into what it's like to shoot? I mean, are you wearing a metal thing? Like, are you just shooting and it's all CGI? What actually happens?
Actually, my suit is not CGI, which is kind of great. I really prefer it that way. I do have to use a lot of KY jelly, but I don't really have a problem with that either, apparently.
This is a family show.
And, that's that. But other than that, the tricky part is sometimes shooting with Iron Man and like War Machine, because in Spider-Man, I mean, those guys get added in a little bit later. Sometimes we do pieces here and then they add some more in post. Yeah. So sometimes it's kind of funny fighting yourself, you're just punching air, pretending he's there. But
well, I think the only punching you'll be doing tonight is like that, yeah, when you see the stuff on screen.
100%.
Have a fantastic time tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. I'm excited.
Great
Thank
to
you.
see
You too.
All right, that is our friend Bucky Barnes, who you are going to see go through some incredible things. We're now going to take a look at some of the great looks that we have seen on the red carpet tonight. With Daniel Bruhl, who played. I don't know what you're allowed to say and what I'm allowed to say, so you tell us about what you do.
I'm afraid I cannot tell you that much. I'm playing a villain, that's for sure, but an interesting guy, a very clever guy, and everything he does comes out of a very human motivation. So it's not a stereotype villain. And that's what attracted me right away by this character. He's twisted, there's an interesting backstory, and there's a depth to it, so he's a fascinating guy. But I'm afraid I cannot tell you that much more.
Oh, then the Marvel people will come after both of us. So when you join the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when you sign on, do you actually get the whole script? You know, I love giving the fans a little bit of a behind-the-scenes glimpse at how it works. Do you get the whole script? Do they just send you your sections?
I think they sent me a couple of sections first, but the privilege was that I met Kevin pretty early on, and he was already telling me about a rough outline of the film and giving me idea of the character. So, you know, I had time to think about this guy. And then eventually I got the script, and I was blown away by the quality. And it's that's what makes these films so incredibly good. It's just, you know, there's quality in every single section, and even the script already was fascinating, and everything else.
And what's it like stepping into this ensemble? They've made a lot of movies with each other. You're the new guy. What's that experience like?
Well, the first days were strange because you feel like you're the new kid at school. And you're just a bit scared, and you think like, oh, hopefully they're going to play with you.
Who'd you sit with at the lunch table?
Yeah, that's how it starts. And then, no, but I have to say, they were big-hearted and generous, and I felt very embraced. So right after the first day, Chris invited me to see a basketball game. So, and then slowly, step by step, we were having dinners, and also sharing scenes with these actors is just incredible. You know, it's such a privilege. And sometimes you have these moments where you look at yourself from the outside and you think, oh, it's really freaky that you're part of it. And it still feels the same tonight. You know, I cannot wait to see the film.
And what's it like being here at the premiere, seeing all the fans 3 sidewalks deep?
No, it's amazing. It makes you aware of you know, how successful these films are and how big the whole thing is. You know, that's it's massive, and it's probably the biggest premiere I ever had, I have to say.
I think it might be the biggest premiere Marvel's ever had, too. There's so many of you wonderful actors here. So I'm going to send you inside because the movie's going to start soon, and I don't want you to miss a moment of it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for talking to the fans. All right, so the very mysterious Daniel Bruhl, who can't say much. You know, the comics and Marvel have all kinds of code names. Nate Moore.
Hey, how's it going tonight?
Good. So this is one of the exec producers of Marvel's Captain America: Civil War.
Yep.
How are you feeling about premiering this film tonight?
Really excited. It's, you know, we work so long on these movies, but it's really fun to see it with an actual audience, to get a real response, you know?
Absolutely. And I love, you know, a lot of people have been joking calling this Avengers 2.5. Right. And in an interview, you had this great quote about how, no, this is really the next step in Captain America's evolution. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we thought it was really important for us to complete the story that we set up in Captain America: The First Avenger and in Winter Soldier. So as much as the other Avengers are in the film and a big part of the movie, it really is about the culmination of that relationship between Steve and Bucky. And we really thought it was important that we pay that off for the fans, honestly, and for Chris and Sebastian, 2 very talented actors who we believe have great chemistry and still had so much more story to tell.
And as far as you personally, you know, as a producer, you've worked on a lot of Captain America material. You did the wonderful 75th anniversary special.
Yep.
How did you get yourself to be balanced and even when dealing with, you know, Team Iron Man?
Well, you can't help but fall in love with Robert Downey Jr. He's so charming, and his Tony Stark is exactly what you see on screen. And, you know, Scarlett Johansson we had a great relationship with because of Winter Soldier. And even characters like Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther, who was new to the universe and such a great new energy. And the introduction of Spider-Man. I mean, there's so many things on that team that are great, and all those actors are so accomplished. Paul Bettany, Don Cheadle. We were really lucky to have, you know, even as an antagonist in the film, to have that caliber of character was amazing. So, you know, when you got to see both sides line up against each other, it was honestly like Christmas morning. Everybody couldn't stop smiling.
Well, you have something really interesting that happens with Story World, where you've got the history now of all of these films. Yeah. Viewers are very familiar and intimate with these characters. How did that factor into the storytelling?
You know, we really look to publishing for inspiration because there have been so many great stories, and now, in a weird way, the films themselves become also great source material for us to pull from. So the more films we make, the more different kinds of stories we can tell, because all of a sudden you have more history to play with. And I think it allows us to keep growing the characters, to keep finding new stories for Captain America and for Iron Man and the Black Widow and the Vision. So it really is a fun playground to play in.
Well, thank you so much for bringing this story and for giving the Marvel fans a little bit of insight into the process. One last question.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything stays under wraps. the comics and the movies have this great thing that they do. You know, there's all these project names. You know, there's Project Insight and Veronica. What is the protocol for keeping secret for the lockdown? You guys have everything on.
It's don't tell anybody anything, even if they need to know it. So sometimes our actors don't even know what they're referring to. But for us, we have a little, a secret list of ideas that we like to play with, and hopefully audiences want to learn what they're about.
I think there is no doubt of that. Have a great time tonight. Enjoy. You worked so hard on this film. It is fantastic.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, so the carpet is starting to die down a little bit because everyone is finally making their way into the theater. And as you can see, the seats are filling up. And pretty soon, we're actually going to meet the entire cast of the film as the theater begins to fill up. And now we're going to take a look at what's been happening on the red carpet. So tell me what the energy was like at the other side of the carpet.
It's absolutely electric. People are so excited. A bunch of people were having their children there for the first time, and a couple of kids were laying down on the carpet taking pictures, just hugging the Marvel logo, because people get so excited about these films,
I'm not gonna lie, I've done that.
Yeah, we've
done that together.
Yeah. But no, it's been absolutely wonderful. There are a bunch of people that are dressed up in the crowd. I was actually right across the street from Jimmy Kimmel Live, which of course tonight is going to have on both Benedict Cumberbatch and Phil Coulson, and they're going to show that brand new
helicopters flying overhead. Welcome to live stream. Woo!
We're going to be seeing that trailer for Marvel's Doctor Strange for the first time tonight on Jimmy Kimmel, so you have to tune in to that at 11:35. 10:35 Eastern time tonight, but it's a whole Marvel week. They had on Team Captain America last night, and then tomorrow they're going to have
Team
on
Iron
Team
Man.
Iron Man.
Yeah, you got to keep it fair and balanced, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And it seems like we've had a pretty equal split between Team Cap and Team Iron Man. It seems like a lot of the fans of Team Iron Man are going for him because of the technology element.
Yeah, I mean, he is kind of a genius.
A little bit.
So I think we need to sort this out, though. Which side are you on? I mean, I've not been shy about shouting my allegiance. I have been Team Cap since the beginning. I just put it out there, and now it's a thing.
Here's the thing. I love both of them, but I'm a bit of a STEM girl myself. That would be science, technology, engineering, and math. So there's something about Tony's world that I find myself very, very attracted to.
Well, you are Miss Science. So you guys, if you want to interact with us and share this conversation with us, please head on over to social media and hashtag Captain America Premiere. And you can check out all of the cool stuff that we're doing, photos, live blogs at marvel.com/Captain America Premiere. And you can watch us on this live stream right now.
That's right. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of science and technology, that reminds me of something that I wanted to make sure all of these guys know about. So, the Marvel Universe is an amazing example of science, technology, and creativity all coming together. And Marvel has been really, really supportive of young women who are interested in STEM careers. So they've done a couple of challenges encouraging young women to get involved. This year, no exception.
I love this so much. Emily Vancamp, who plays Agent 13, aka Sharon Carter, as well as Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda Maximoff, have both been wonderful about being a part of the program with the girls. And
exactly. It's called the Captain America Civil War Girls Reforming the Future Challenge. And girls 15 to 18 were invited to submit their ideas via video for ideas that could change the world. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure. There were over 1,000 entries submitted, and out of those, 5 finalists were picked, and they actually got to come here to California. They presented their ideas to a panel of experts, they got feedback, and one lucky winner is actually going to get an internship at Marvel Studios.
See, we need those real-life Helen Chos of the world. You might remember Helen Cho from Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron. Wonderful scientist. Also, tumultuous scientist because she aided in the creation of Ultron and Vision.
She didn't mean to, though. Was it really her fault? I mean, she had, the thing in the dark eyes.
See, now we're going right back to the central issue of Civil War, which is, well, stuff happens sometimes, right?
Exactly. When you're under mind control of an alien object.
But when you're a superpowered person, does that mean that the government should come in and have a say because maybe you'll do some bad stuff?
I actually want to know. All right, forget Team Cap and Team Iron Man for just a sec. If you could choose Team Lorraine, who would be on it?
Oh, yeah. Let's do this. Can we split up the roster so we get to pick?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay. I'm definitely going to go with Scarlet Witch as my first pick. She is magical.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that. She's got those Scarlet Witch blasts, and she can bend probability. So, I'm just saying.
I think my first choice, we're going with Vision. Because, Mind Stone.
Right, yeah. I mean, having a Infinity Gem doesn't really hurt.
No, it kind of helps your cause there, just a little bit. So he'd be my first pick.
Okay, so my next pick is going to have to be Captain America. You really, you can't beat the super soldier serum. Even in a suit, out of a suit, doesn't matter. He's still Steve Rogers. He's still Captain America.
We're actually going to take a very quick look into the theater to see how things are going there. Yeah, we can see things filling up. Everybody's getting ready. The movie's going to unspool shortly.
So who would be your next pick?
Okay, well, if you've got Cap, well, I'm going to take Tony then.
Well, right.
I mean, come on.
I mean, they can't be on the same team.
I don't think so.
Not in this scenario.
Not in this scenario. Yeah.
Other times, yes. Okay, my next pick is going to be, this is so hard, but I'm gonna, you know what?
What?
I'm gonna go Ant-Man.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Scott Lang Ant-Man.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. I get it.
If you got a great suit, I want a great suit. You know what I mean?
I'm going to go with Falcon because I think when things get tense, you need some humor to lighten things up a little bit, keep the team together, keep it from getting too hot. So,
yeah, and
Falcon.
If you're going to go humor, I'm going to go humor, and I'm going to go Spider-Man. Oh, I love Spider-Man. He is my first comic book hero that I really went crazy about in high school. I had a Spidey car that was covered in Spider-Man. It's a thing.
It's definitely a thing. All right, we are about to get ready for cast introductions, so we're going to give you one last look at some highlights from the red carpet tonight. Okay, well, if you're going to take one new guy, I'm going to get the other new guy. I'm choosing Black Panther for Team Tomorrow.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I'm going to go and say if you get a mech suit, I get a mech suit. I'm taking War Machine, James Rhodey Rhodes.
Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, well, I'm going Hawkeye then.
Nice.
Because he's got arrows that can stop almost any suit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
From far away. Have to say, ranged weapons, very powerful. But you know what? You need sometimes somebody who can infiltrate and go hand to hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Black Widow.
I was about to say, we haven't chosen Black Widow yet, have we?
No.
No.
But I get both the gingers. They're both mine.
All right, I'm going to have to work on Team Redhead on my own. We'll just be Team Redhead together.
That's true. Okay.
Exactly.
You guys should go over to Twitter and tell us your teams. Tell us who you would choose. And hashtag Captain America Premiere.
Absolutely. So, you know who I found out was here tonight? Neil Kirby was apparently here.
Yes.
Son of Jack Kirby.
Who, of course, was one of the original creators of Captain America, along Joe Simon. And actually, you got to talk to Nate Moore, who executive produced that amazing documentary for ABC, which was called Marvel's Captain America 75 Heroic Years, which you can actually still watch on the ABC app or on ABC Go. And it's such a wonderful hour-long documentary that talks about their relationship, how they made Captain America, and Captain America's history through time. It's really incredible. If you love Captain America and you're chomping at the bit to see this movie, you can definitely go watch that.
Yeah, and it's great for both comics fans because it really gives you a look at that history, but also for fans who may not be familiar with the comics, because then you actually kind of get a shorthand to see how they got from there to now, to the Marvel Cinematic Universe version.
And it's so incredible. I mean, Jack Kirby is such an incredible artist. His drawings, the way that he drew lines, changed the way that they made comics. I mean, really and truly.
Yeah.
His art and the coloring, the work that he did, trained your eye where to go, what to look at, what was important, where the action was, and it changed the medium as a form, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And the crazy part is he did the majority of it down in his basement studio in Long Island. Apparently, according to some things that Neil has written, the nickname was the Dungeon.
Yes.
And there were all kinds of, crazy artifacts in there and sort of mythic items to inspire the drawing that he did.
I mean, we're so lucky, and it's so fun because you see a lot of comic book and artist talent here on the red carpet, and they're coming to see the people that they've been writing and drawing and the stories that have been inspiration for this film and others.
Yeah.
Across the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Exactly, and we've got a lot more coming up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We do.
As we mentioned, we've got Doctor Strange, which is premiering in November, and then a year from now, we'll see Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Which I have to say, one of my favorite things about Guardians of the Galaxy, that soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
I am so hooked on a feeling.
Well, I think it's really telling that the name of the next Guardians of the Galaxy film is related to the music. I mean, it just goes to show what an imprint that made, and I mean, James Gunn being so intense about his music choices.
Yes, and I love that those music choices are often completely scripted. And he chose those songs for those scenes for that reason. I think that's one of the reasons why they hit home. And he's just got great musical taste.
Oh, yeah. I'd let him pick my soundtrack.
And then coming up after that,
Spider-Man,
which I'm so excited for. I can't wait. Coming in July of that year.
Yeah. And it actually, the Spider-Man movie is as yet untitled. So if you guys have any ideas, please feel free to tweet them or let us know. I mean, not that Kevin Feige and the rest of the team doesn't have many wonderful ideas, but you guys are really creative too. So,
but what comes after Spidey? The end of the world coming in November. Marvel's Thor Ragnarok. Ragnarok is never a good thing if you're Norse.
No.
It's literally the apocalypse. So I have a feeling that's going to be a pretty intense one.
Yeah, and speaking of that, let's go back for a sec just to remind viewers where some of the characters have been sort of since we've last seen them.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Thor, just adios.
Can we just say he has the best exits?
Yeah, he drops a mic like no one else because he drops a mic by whirling Mjolnir into the sky.
Exactly.
It's a kind of fabulous exit strategy.
Over and out, up.
And we also had, speaking of Peace Now, Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Sad exit out of the MCU for the moment.
For the moment. We don't really know where he is. It's alluded to at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, but nobody really knows.
And you know who's going to be pretty bummed about that, I have a feeling? Black Widow.
Yeah.
Because they were feeling some feels. You know?
I actually wonder, the other person I feel like is probably pretty bummed about that? Who? Tony Stark.
Oh, Science Bros.
Science Bros.
Oh, I mean, how are you going to science alone when there's no one to science with?
Exactly. You need someone to enjoy. You need someone to hang out with all that time in the lab because experimenting takes a long time.
And then, of course, we have Scarlet Witch, who's just coming into the fold.
Yeah.
She's a new Avenger in the team, and she's been through a lot considering her brother, spoilers if you haven't seen Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron, but her brother doesn't make it to the end of the movie.
No, and so, she begins her relationship with the Avengers really in a lot with, I would say, with Clint Barton, with Hawkeye. And we see some of the evolution of that in this film. That's all I'm going to say. But we see the evolution of that. We do see at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron that she's at the compound and she's training. And can we just say, because we've seen this in the teaser and in the trailer, that amazing superhero landing that she sticks?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Girl can fight. Yeah.
Seriously.
She's got serious moves. And speaking of the compound, while we were there, we also saw Falcon.
Yes.
Which I heard that Anthony Mackie didn't hear that he was going to be an Avenger until that day.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was talking with some of the actors about, whether or not they get the whole script or just pieces of it. And he apparently is one of the characters who only gets pieces of it. And he only found out about what he was doing in that scene at the premiere of Avengers Age of Ultron last year when he saw the ending to the scene that he filmed. So
it's a great way to get a gig, though.
Yeah.
Like the best gig ever. Oh, and speaking of Falcon, of course, he had infamously a run-in with one of our smaller heroes in Marvel's Ant-Man. Scott Lang. I mean, the last time we saw him, he did put a Thomas the Tank Engine through a house.
Yeah, I don't know if I would invite him over to play with my kids.
Probably solid just in general.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see where their relationship picks up. And then, of course, after Thor Ragnarok, starting in 2018, we finally get our Black Panther movie.
Which I can't wait for. We haven't gotten to talk a lot about Black Panther tonight, but Black Panther is such an amazing character. And, he has such an interesting background because, of course, he lives in Wakanda, which has already been hinted at in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We saw hints about it in Iron Man 2. We've heard about Vibranium in Marvel's Captain America, the very first film. And then, of course, we talked about it a lot in Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron when we went to Wakanda and we were dealing with Ulysses Claw, and of course Ultron was trying to steal all of the vibranium for ill.
Right, exactly. So gotta be very, very, very stingy with your vibranium because bad things can happen. But we'll find out a lot more about Wakanda, hopefully, when we get to our Black Panther movie. And in fact, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Black Panther.
That's right, this year.
He debuted in 1966. So he's looking pretty good for 50.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all.
And of course, we're introducing Spider-Man, which I've already talked about, but I just adore him. I'm so excited to see him here in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in this shared universe with the Avengers, where I feel like Spidey kind of really belongs.
I absolutely think so. I would actually love to see, Tom Holland has talked about the fact that he's actually got this crazy tumbling mat. I don't know the official term for it, but it's this crazy tumbling mat in the back of his house, and he practices a lot of his flips and stunts there. And last year, when we were at the premiere for Marvel's Ant-Man, Paul Rudd talked about the fact that he was doing a lot of parkour training. So I'd kind of like to see
parkour training. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It had to be said.
I'm gonna call Brett Dalton back and get back into our pun off. We decided there should be a team pun.
Team pun.
Team pun.
I'm always on team pun.
Totally.
Dad jokes forever.
Yay!
Yeah.
But I would like to see that Ant-Man, Spider-Man face off because I think they could have a lot of fun.
I mean, Battle of the Bugs, right?
Totally.
Maybe Black Widow in there. I mean, she's an arachnid, but it's cool. You know what I mean?
I think it could work.
Yeah.
I definitely think it could work. Black Widow always find a way to get in on the action, so.
Yeah. And actually speaking of Black Widow, something that has been so interesting in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is we've seen a lot of the Black Widow program. We saw in Marvel's Agent Carter, we got to see Dot, who was trained as part of the Widow program.
Part of the Red Room.
And we also have had Margaret Stoll's beautiful novel,
yes,
Forever Red, talking about the comic book origin of Black Widow that really delves into her history, and it's canon. It's part
canon,
of the story.
yeah, so it's part of the story. So I love the fact that you now have these tendrils spilling out into other forms and other mediums to give you a deeper look into the story. That was my big Christmas read, actually.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Right around then, she's such a wonderful writer, and she's so fun.
Yeah.
She's just a darling, fun person.
And I love finding out more about that history, and that was really fun to explore on Agent Carter.
And of course, we got to see it a little bit in Marvel's Avengers: Age of Ultron in those flashback scenes with Julia Delpy. And seeing how that all came to be.
I never expected Julie Delpy to be like a taskmaster. That was such a fun turn for her.
You know, and actually we have been so lucky to have so many amazing actors like William Hurt, Robert Redford, Glenn Close, who've come and been part of these Marvel movies.
Kurt Russell has actually been announced for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so that's going to be, I cannot wait to see what he does in that movie, because his energy is mixed with that cast is going to be fantastic.
And of course we had Michael Douglas also in Marvel's Ant-Man. I mean, we have some of the most amazing actors in the Hollywood universe, much less the Marvel universe. You know?
Well, I think that kind of goes back to something that Stan Lee was saying, which is, you know, everybody sort of loves the magic and the fantasy of this world, but there's also a really deep-seated sense of storytelling, you know, and these themes that resonate with adults and kids, and that's, I think, what draws in some of these incredible actors.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think you're just raised with these things, and there's no way to not have these stories in your heart. When you see Captain America, when you see Spider-Man, when you see Iron Man, there's always that part of you that feels like a kid again, and who doesn't want to chase that feeling of feeling like a kid again? And also some of us keep reading comics as adults.
I think it's great to keep reading comics as an adult because, you know, that's
the most fun ever.
And to actually have it be your job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marvel.
Yeah, we like that.
I also feel like a kid when I see all of these guys together. So we are actually getting ready to go inside the theater for the intro to all of the actors in this film.
I can't wait to see it. And everyone's going to sit down and get to watch the movie finally. So many people have worked so hard on this film. And I think it's so wonderful that they all get to sit there together and watch the magic.
Exactly. There's nothing like sitting in a big theater with some popcorn and getting to actually see it on a nice big screen. All right, guys, here it is, the moment you've been waiting for, the intro to the cast of Marvel's Captain America: Civil War.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the main event. This is the world premiere of Marvel's Captain America: Civil War. Tonight, here at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood, California, USA, we are about to witness an epic event, an epic adventure. So ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you, are you ready? Please welcome to the stage the president and co-president of Marvel Studios, also the producer and executive producer of Captain America: Civil War, Kevin Feige and Louis D'Esposito. And now, the writers of Captain America: Civil War, Christopher Markus and Stephen Mcfeely. And ladies and gentlemen, our directors of Captain America: Civil War, Joe and Anthony Russo. Well, gentlemen and fans, are you ready to meet the cast? At this time, here's the cast of Captain America: Civil War: Frank Grillo, Marissa Tomei, Danielle Bruhl, and William Hurt. And now, let's meet our teams. Introducing first in the red corner, it's Team Iron Man. Here is War Machine, Don Cheadle. And Vision, Paul Bettany. And ladies and gentlemen, Tony Stark, Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr. And now, their opponents in the blue corner for Team Cap, First Agent 13, Emily Vancamp. Falcon, Anthony Mackie. Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan. And he's Ant-Man, Paul Rudd. And the leader of Team Cap, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Chris Evans! Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the cast of Captain America Civil War. Now let's hear it from the fans in attendance. And let's see from the teams. Who's for Team Iron Man? Are you ready? Team Cap, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions of Marvel fans around the world who wish they could be here, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Is that. Thank you so much for watching the live stream tonight, brought to you by Comic Cave Studios. I'm, of course, Lorraine Sink.
And I'm Tamara Krinsky. We are so excited for the world premiere of Marvel's Captain America Civil War, opening in theaters on May 6th. You can catch it. Check your local listings.
Thank you so much. And this is Marvel,
Your universe.